Man, cough ready to start the show. I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all? Make sure that when you subscribe to the channel, that you trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live, whether it be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, don't matter. You subscribe, you hit the bell, you are now a part of the Academy Sports Show. Whenever we go live, and today we are live on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. We appreciate everybody, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, everything Academy Sports Show. Once again, we thank y'all. And as soon as you get in here, like Joel said, make sure you say hi. And then make sure you tweet it out or write it out or post it out or text it out. Let everybody know that the Academy Sports Show is live. The Sports Show's favorite sports show is about to get in today. We got a great lineup for you. Gonna get in, get out. It's been some breaking news. So now's the time to get in the comment section. I'm your host, Andre Douglas. Sitting next to me is your host, Joel Williams.
What up, though, as they say in the D, man. Welcome to the show. As you heard Dre say, man, if you're in the building, let us know. Say hello, shout us out. Big show, man. We're going to keep it simple, get straight to the point. You know, as we always do, trivia night, you know how we do. But big news today, breaking news in the college football, now NFL ranks with a big coaching move. And, of course, you got the NFL playoffs and the Detroit Lions are in the NFC Championship game. So we got to talk about the conference championships. We got to talk about the divisional round, give our predictions, and you probably want to be here for Dre's moment because he should be excited. They're in the NFC Championship game. You're going to hear how he feels. We're going to talk about it. We're going to give our predictions. So all you Lions fans, if you're in the building, I know you are excited. Man, it's a big weekend coming up here in the area, in the local area. We're going to get to it. So, man, real quick, straight to the point. Show tonight, man. Appreciate y'all joining us. Let's get it. It's the Academy Sports Show. We live.
We live, baby. And you know, as we do, throw it up. Why did I do it like that? Start every show off with trivia night. So tonight is the night for trivia. So right now, as you see the field, you are down 1-3, but there's always a time. It's always time for you to make a furious comeback. Trivia night goes as such. Me and Joel, as the hosts, ask each other a question. If we get it right, we get a point. If y'all get it right, y'all get a point. But the catch is, if you put it in the chat, that is everybody's answer. So the first one to reply in the chat, answers for everybody. So if you're going to answer, make sure it's right. So here we go.
All right, y'all heard the man. Trivia night. You're right, Kobe. It's big, man. It's different. It's coming up. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Here's your trivia question, man. Dre, you ready?
No, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, in celebration of this weekend's events, we are in the Final Four of the NFL, the AFC Championship game, the NFC Championship game. We have the Baltimore Ravens, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Detroit Lions, and the San Francisco 49ers. And one of the big stories this weekend is the fact that out of all of these teams, there's one team playing that has never made it to a Super Bowl. That's never as in NEVER. So, as my dog barks. So, today's trivia question is centered around the events of the weekend. You ready?
Give it to me.
NFL trivia. The Detroit Lions have never made a Super Bowl, as we know. They're playing the NFC Championship game coming up this weekend. There are 3 other teams in the NFL besides the Detroit Lions who have never made it to a Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait. Hold on. Did I say that question?
I don't know.
Let me check it. Hold on. Let me check. Is it Oh, no. I'm sorry. Rephrase. Sorry. Start over. All right. I apologize. There are, so, no, I think this is correct. Yes. There are 4 teams to have never made it to a Super Bowl. Okay? 4 teams have never made it to a Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions are playing in the NFC Championship game this weekend. They are one of the 4. There are 3 other teams to have never made it to Super Bowl, but they have made it to their conference championship games. They just have never won and got to the big show. Besides the Lions, name the other 3 teams.
That's never been to a Super Bowl.
Never been to a Super
Bowl. Jacksonville and Houston. I'm going to go those because those are the expansion teams.
Okay.
Carolina's an expansion team, but they went to the Super Bowl twice.
Okay.
So who's the third? The Browns won the title, didn't they? Or they been to the Super Bowl? Have the Browns been to the Super Bowl?
I don't believe I can answer this question.
Yeah. Steelers, Ravens. Yeah. North. South. Washington. Yeah, Washington. Saints. Falcons. Panthers. Colts. Titans. The Browns. The Browns in Super Bowl.
You've asked me that question again.
So yeah, Texans, Jaguars, and San Francisco 49ers. Like now. Super Bowl. The Jets, Miami. Who's the 14 over there? The Bills, they went Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say the Browns. I guess I don't know. Those are my 3 teams.
Final answer.
Final answer. Not to prolong. Not to prolong it.
Proof that the answer went up before anybody else responded.
Oh man, the Texans used to be the Oilers. Oh, that sucks. I don't remember that.
Tennessee Titans used to be the Houston Oilers, and then they moved to Tennessee, and the Houston Oilers then turned into the Houston Texans.
So the Oilers should have the Titans background then, not the Texans.
They always edit this and say Oilers, Texans, Titans. I could do that.
No, the Oilers should have the Titans. Those should be 2 teams together. The Texans are an expansion team. They don't have a lineage.
True. All right. You ready for the correct answer?
Sure.
Does look like we're gonna get an answer from the chat, and your answer is up first. So the Detroit Lions are, as you know, one of the 4 teams.
Yeah.
The Jacksonville Jaguars is another team. You are correct. The Houston Texans / Oilers is another team. You are correct.
Okay.
AKA also known as the Titans. That whole Houston lineage of organization, which you're right, should be 2 separates. But when I looked it up, it was actually just 1. And so I think they do count Oilers. I think Oilers Titans maybe. I don't know, but I put Texans Oilers. That's on me. And then just to bring us all together and unify us, the Cleveland Browns are your 3rd team. You actually got the answer correct.
Okay. All right.
Good job. You are correct.
Together.
Yep.
I'm like, man, who else could it be?
It is the
It wasn't the Super Bowl when Jim Brown was running, was it?
No, it was the NFL championship.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's too old.
Yep. You guys also have an NFL championship.
1957.
Ours was in 54. And I think you beat the Browns to win your NFL championship.
That makes me feel good inside. Just want to let you know that.
Okay.
All right,
I also hope you lose this weekend so you can still be on the list with the teams that.
Wow. Wow. It'd be your own people. It'd be your own people. All right, so that's trivia night. Let's go ahead and pivot over to what the meme. Here's the meme that you sent me, I believe. Start Mitch cut. Look like college days. McCaffrey, Corum, and I'll never draft Najee Harris ever again.
Najee Harris. Yep, this one is an easy one for me because I'm going Homer on this. We're starting Blake Corum. I got CMC coming off the bench, and I'm definitely not. I'm definitely cutting Najee Harris. I'm not playing. And here's one of the reasons why as well, because he snubbed Michigan. We were trying to recruit him, as was Alabama. He picked Alabama over Michigan.
Good. He don't deserve to be called a Michigan man.
Yep.
The way he did my fantasy team. I spent $50 on Najee Harris.
Ooh.
All right, same. Kobe said he'll keep him in this order. DC said same thing. All right, cool.
DC's going Blake CMC.
That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. He said the same as you.
Yeah, Dennis said the same as me, but Kobe's saying he's benching Blake.
Okay. All right, let's get to it, man. The meat and potatoes. Here it is. How do I say goodbye? It's my go-to song. He's gone, but we all knew it, right? Let's not act like we were shocked about this. It was only a matter of time. Everybody knew him and the Chargers were the match made in heaven. That's who he wanted. That's who they wanted, and it happened. They didn't waste no time. They offered him. He took it. Jim Harbaugh gets his team. He goes to L.A. to take over the Los Angeles Chargers, formerly of San Diego. Hey, listen, Kobe, man, I got it. I got it in me. You don't know. Like, I was number one in my choir in middle school. So Jim Harbaugh, your reaction being a new head football coach for at least the next 5 years of the LA Chargers?
It makes sense. I mean, like you said, this reminds me of when LeBron left Cleveland the second time, right? It was like everybody's like, "Oh man, how do you feel about that?" And people were just upset and this and that. Nah, I'm straight. I'm not gonna be upset because he came back and did what he said he was gonna do. So it's like one of those things where it's like he actually made us. He made the promise work. Like he kept his word, right? So Harbaugh came here. He wanted to do what he did. They did it. It was rocky. It was Harbaugh-esque. I mean, it had its ups and downs. It had its controversy. It had his flirtation with the NFL. Like we had the full gamut of the experience of Harbaugh. Players loved him, and I wish him well. We knew that I could, you could see it happening. And it'll be interesting to see if he can take the Chargers to that level. That team is very good on paper. I'm sure he'll draft well. The 49ers were a hard-nosed, tough team. If he can turn the Chargers into that, then it's going to be a good thing. They've been just like an 8-8 juggernaut every year, like forever. You can count on the Chargers being 8-8, always losing the big games by 2 points. Let's see if that changes. and let's go from there. So I wish him well.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that's, I think I said last week, somebody in the comments, like, this team is over the cap. It's got some Asian veterans. They need to make some moves. They got some max players that might not deserve to be max. It's a lot of motion that needs to come with this roster moving forward. But the one thing that was the sexy thing is they got a turnkey quarterback, right? They call him average. They call him, the new Pat Stafford. And let's see what Harbaugh does with him. Let's see what Harbaugh does with his voice in his ear. See what they do with this roster. It's definitely going to take a couple years to turn this roster over to the roster that he wants. So yeah, I'm sure LA will give him a couple years grace to try to turn this roster over and to mold it to the team that he thinks that he can contend with. Now he is in this division with Kansas City, so he'll be going head to head with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes twice a year. He's also in the same conference as his brother and the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. So he's definitely got some hurdles there in the AFC and then within his conference and within his division. So those matchups are always going to be fun to watch. Mm-hmm. But from the Michigan standpoint, I echo your sentiments of he came, he won, and then now it's cool for him to go. So we're going to watch the rebuild. I remember last week you were saying, you were cool with him leaving as long as he didn't take the DC with him. Is that looking to be the case?
Rumor has it that Jay Harbaugh and Minter are going with him. That's what I heard on the original reports when they were saying that he was up for kind of that second interview. Word out there was, after looking around different sites, looking at different people posting, the word was Minter and Jay Harbaugh going with. That's the part for me is, can we please go get another defensive guy from the Ravens system and bring him here, please? Because that professional defensive coordinator scheme is what makes, to me, is what separated them from everybody else. And I would like to see them promote somebody from in-house. And I mean, the first person that comes to mind has got to be Sharon Moore getting a chance because he did it this year. That'll be interesting because the culture at Michigan seems like it's very unique. So do you go out and get another guy that just brings in just overhauls the program into his own?
Yeah,
I'd like to see us stay kind of in that stream. And then I do want to see from the Chargers perspective, does Harbaugh call his own plays or does he get an OC like he had here at Michigan? That'll be interesting too. Because I think he called his own plays back when he was with the 49ers. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, rumor is that Harbaugh and Minter are going with.
On the Michigan piece, would you be upset if they tried to go after a name just for recruiting wise?
Yes, I'm feeling like I really am feeling like the issue here is that the thing I'm afraid of losing is culture. I'm afraid of the culture. That's the thing that's concerning me so far from a transfer perspective. You haven't had a lot of the big names leave the program. It looks like everybody kind of knew this was coming. Like I said, I just feel like maybe we should just stay in house with it. It just seems like we should. But so I'm concerned. I'm not overly concerned. I'm interested. I'm not overly concerned. I think I like our roster coming back next year, actually. A lot of people are ready to kind of say we're going to fall back down. I actually like our roster, but I like it because it fits our system. So let's keep the same system, and can we continue to move forward with Sharon Moore or somebody like that, an heir apparent type? That's what I'm hoping to see. So what other big name out there? I don't even know. I can't think of a coach right now that's out there that I would really want to come to Michigan from a name recognition perspective. Nick Saban? Just kidding. No, Nick Saban returns to the Big Ten.
All right, Jim. We appreciate you. Look forward to what you got going on in the NFL. Losing Glenn, I don't care. Losing Ben, I definitely care.
I was wondering if we were going to agree on that. I think losing Glenn is a plus for you.
Yeah. I think scheme-wise, there's definitely a better DC out there that could help us mold some more pieces. But losing Ben, and then paying Jared Goff could be detrimental to our future. Because if we find out that it was all Ben and not Jared, and now we stuck paying $40 million a year to Jared Goff, and we don't have an OC that understands him, it's going to be tough after we win this Super
Bowl. Well, as long as auto fires work. Listen, I've been trying to find out what's the issue with Ward Manuel. So maybe you can chime in on that. Will, what's the issue with Ward? Are we gonna blame Ward for not keeping Harbaugh? I don't think there was anything that could keep Harbaugh. Here's the thing I read as far as keeping Harbaugh. I read something that said they offered him highest paid in college football. The other piece, though, I read is that he wanted some type of clause built into his contract. I don't know if this is true, it's just something I read. Wanted some type of clause built into his contract that basically said if the NCAA came calling with violations, that we couldn't turn around and fire him for just cause. So maybe Ward Manuel didn't succumb to that approach and give him that. I don't know. Is that a reason to fire him? I don't know. I don't know that Jim Harbaugh was ever going to commit to us for his life. It just seems like he had already said, I like it here, I love it here. Then he went and talked to the Vikings. Then after that, he came back and said, okay, I've done it. I've talked to people. That's it. Now they're going to want a natty. And unfortunately, it's without controversy. I don't know that he wasn't. It's an every year thing with him. So I wasn't bothered by it because it just is what it is. When you get into the upper echelon of college sports now, you have to deal with that from a football and basketball perspective. Basketball, it's a one and done situation. If you're going to be a one and done university, then you got to deal with kids leaving every year.
Yep.
And then college and football, if you're going to be in the big name of coaching coaches, you got to worry about, are they going to retire or are they going to leave and go to the NFL? So I don't know if he would have stayed regardless, but maybe Will, you could shed some light on more.
I'm sure there'll be more Jim Harbaugh topics coming in the future.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch SportsCenter for the next 3 or 4 days. It's going to be annoying.
All right, let's talk about the divisional round. 4 good games in the divisional round. Let's start off with the first game in the AFC. The Texans finding out that there's levels to this when they went up against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Lamar did Lamar things. He didn't have to throw for 300, but he sure ran for 100. Got his team in the right position. Defense played lights out in the second half, and the Texans got sent home.
And that pretty much sums it up. That's exactly what happened. I think at the end of the day, you hit the nail on the head. Texans found out. Hey, we're here, happy to be here, excited. Played a good first half, and then as soon as your kicker missed the field goal to go up 13-10 right before the half, you kind of go into the locker room with some surprising momentum that if anybody that turns the game on at halftime and sees the score goes, ooh, we got a game here, then you're thinking. But second half, Baltimore adjusted. They came out, and they did Baltimore things. And so that's exactly how it went, exactly how you described it. And great season for the Texans. Baltimore moves on, and they still look – in the second half, they look like the team that we've been watching them be all season.
Next up on Divisional Saturday, we saw Green Bay at San Francisco. Green Bay had some fight in them. They weren't afraid to run the ball in that first half against San Francisco. Debo Samuel gets hurt in the first quarter or first half. San Francisco not ekes it out, but San Francisco plays a solid second half on the back of Christian McCaffrey. How you feel about – and then With the game on the line, unfortunately, the young fella throws a pick across his body down the field in the game unceremoniously for Green Bay. Jordan Love, San Francisco versus Green Bay. How you feel?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, this is a situation of if you're Green Bay, that's like my little secondary team, and they got next, bro. Like I thought this division, the North, the NFC North, was going to be one that, from the looks of it, the Lions have been ascending, and they were going to kind of maybe control this thing for another few years because until this year, you really didn't see this Jordan Love, and it's been questionable about whether or not he was really that guy. Well, they took the reins off this year, and that team looks really legit. They're young. Their receiving core is super young. If Christian Watson can stay healthy, that'll be a thing. They already signed Aaron Jones, so they've got a lot of core guys. That team's got next. Tough game, tough way to go down. Big experience and just a little more talent, and really wins that game out. San Francisco defense really does their job and really holds the young fella down at the end and gets the pick because Green Bay was driving that thing, and it was about to be real interesting. But I thought that both of these games, both the Baltimore Texans game and the 49ers Green Bay game, both of those games set up really well for those guys as number one seeds to come out, play a tough game, and move on to the conference championship game.
Gotcha. First game on Sunday, we saw the Detroit Lions absolutely obliterate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know. In a close game against Tampa Bay, a game I was back and forth for a while. Lots of big plays. Mike Evans had a career game against us, which I was worried about. We ended up going up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but it ended up coming down to a final drive with Baker Mayfield. 1 timeout with a minute and a half to go to make a drive to try to tie the game up. Down 8, and he throws a pick over the middle. Derek Barnes gets the interception. Lions take a knee, and the Lions win to go on to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to go 1 win away from the Super Bowl. That is so weird to say. I could tell you I was on the edge of my seat the whole game. I wanted this to be a blowout. I understand that it probably wasn't going to be a blowout. The Tampa Bay's run defense did a hell of a job in the first half. They couldn't get nothing up the middle. Montgomery was pretty much ineffective, going for the field goal early, trying to get points. Great goal line, 4th down runs from Detroit, but Tampa just kept fighting back. Mike Evans was unguardable. Sutton was getting smoked every time they had a chance. The tie it up at halftime was absolutely brutal. Those big bombs of Mike Evans, and then being up 2 touchdowns, you think it's over. And then they have a nice drive to actually get down, and then they go for the 2-point conversion. So now they miss it. So now they're only down 8, and to give Baker the ball back with a minute and a half in a timeout, it was edgy as seat football. It was, but then Baker went Baker, and everything's right with the world. So the Lions move on. Tampa Bay goes home, but it wasn't as easy of a win as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I don't know if you thought it was going to be easy.
Or hoped it to be. Let me say hoped it to be.
I'd say because you guys were talking about, man, y'all want it. Everybody wanted Tampa Bay, and it was like, yeah, do you really want Tampa Bay? And that's kind of why I picked Tampa Bay last week. It's like that team's going to come in here hot. They got a lot of confidence. And they came in and they played ball. They didn't come in and lay down. They fought to the end. They have an interesting situation coming up with, do they re-sign Baker, a few more years? Seems like he's kind of rolling into being a quarterback. He's got Evans. You got a good core group there. You're probably going to have to replace a couple guys. And their defense has just always been legit if they can stay healthy. And so that'll be interesting going forward. The Lions played a good game all around. The one glaring thing about the Lions that hasn't bitten them is the secondary, and that running game has to produce because that running game helps Jared Goff. The play action for Jared Goff is just when you go play action and he can throw the ball over the middle of the field, that offense is dang near unstoppable, especially when your top receiver is coming out of the slot position. So the fact that they got the young fella being able to get to the outside and run off tackle and for him to be able to do big things, that's key. That'll be interesting coming into this weekend. But I think overall, though, yeah, good game. D-line got pressure at the right time. Hutch made a couple big plays. Kaminsky gives you one play a game, like you said. The thing that follows the Lions, and we'll talk about it in the preview of this week's game, is the back. To me, the back seven, because you never really hear anything about your linebackers. It's either your front four or it's your back seven. So it's like that's going to be interesting against San Francisco this weekend. But overall, good game. And, man, this city's on fire right now.
Yeah, I think offensively we had a good game plan. Get the ball to Amon-Ra as much as we can, and get Laporta in the game as much as we can. Try to work the run game as much as we can, but they did shut that down effectively in the first half. And then they went to Jameer. Normally it's a series by series thing, but they went to Jameer, the guy that can get to the outside, that can make one cut and burst, and that was a good thing to do. And giving him that ball and let him do his thing was the best. Defensively, I don't know why you leave Hutch unblocked on some of those plays. The timely corner blitzes.
They had a couple of busts.
Yeah. The timely corner blitzes with Branch definitely helps. But you also saw the blaring mistakes, blitzing on 3rd and 4th downs when they need 13, 14 yards. You don't have to bring everybody. It's 3rd and 12, and they're in the red zone, and you go all out blitz, so they throw a screen. You don't need to blitz everybody at all times. So I would hope he would rectify that situation going into this game, moving forward, because even if Debo doesn't play, you still got Ayuk on that other side, and you blitz somebody and you got Sutton on him, he's getting burnt. So hopefully the game plan moving forward is a lot less all-out blitzes. And then in the AFC, you got Kansas City and Buffalo. We've seen this over and over again. Joel, you was hoping that Buffalo, this would be their year.
One time.
But the Russians come through once again and have the kicker sister. One thing that all Buffalo Bad fans hate to hear, wide right.
Yep, they did it again. It's pretty much all you can say. I don't understand. It's interesting, and I think some of the blame for this, they're missing Gabe Davis, which people call him Big Game Dave, Big Game Gabe. He's had some games. Here's the thing I just wonder about the Bills is, have they hit their ceiling? Because listen, man, Diggs disappears in big games, bro. Now, people will say, well, they don't throw the ball. He disappears in big games. Just saying. So, do you go get another guy? Do they need one more receiver? They have injuries on the defense every year.
Every year.
So, that's always big, too. But, it's just something about him, man. And so then I wonder also, does McDermott lose his job this week? Because has he taken them as far as he could take? So, a lot of questions have to be answered. KC is being KC again. Kelsey scores twice. So when that's happening, that's tough. If you can hold Kelsey down, which most teams have this year, because you just kind of double him the whole game and make them throw it to these other guys. But again, if you can't pass rush, can't get to the quarterback, then you end up with the situation you end up with. So, man, sorry, Buffalo. I was rooting for y'all.
Yeah. And I think Kansas City did something that you were expecting Buffalo to do, which was rely on their run game. Pacheco got a lot of touches this game. Rely on run game, open up those medium passes to Kelsey, a lot of blown coverages, especially on that longer pass to Kelsey for a touchdown. Like I say, man, like Mahomes and Kelsey, if you can't stop it, you ain't going to win. And for some reason, other teams have slowed it down, but against Buffalo, Buffalo just can't solve that puzzle for some reason.
Yep.
Then you add Pacheco in there. You can't stop the run. You can't stop Kelsey. This was your prime. I mean, you had your fans shoveling for 2 days to beat Kansas City, and you lose. I would say enough as well. So
yeah, I mean, but neither team. I thought it was interesting. Neither team could stop their run. Like Buffalo was getting, Cook was getting like 8 yards to carry. Like it was just, they were just running the ball down like backboard down the field, which was interesting. But to your point, you can't beat Kansas City if Pacheco gets you 85 and a tutty, and Kelsey gets you 2 tutties, and Mahomes throws for almost 300. You just can't. You can't beat it. But that's their formula. If they get scores from both of those guys, then they're in.
And Buffalo's just gonna run it back. That's what they do. They just run it back every year. It's not gonna be any changes.
You gotta make some changes. Micah, I think I already saw the farewell letter from Micah Hyde, so they're gonna part ways with him.
That ain't the right move to make.
He's often injured, Micah Hyde, so that'll be interesting.
Right.
So Will pointed out thing was said in a lot of corners when you leave 1-1 versus 0 Blitz gives Brent. Yeah, so I want to comment on that, but I'm assuming we're going to talk about the conference championship games here in a second.
There we go.
Jordy goes to ice on the kick if they win, tired of them never being in the bowl. Yes, sir. You sound like every other Lions fan. Grizzlies said Sutton can't cover himself in the blanket. Oh man. Okay, Will talked about the Ward manual fire. Okay, I hear you, Will. I didn't know about all that stuff specifically, so there's some stuff out there to knock him out. So yeah, let's go. Let's go KC Baltimore first. Let's save the home the home game for that.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, I mean this game, man, is interesting. I think so. What we just talked about with KC is the whole piece of being able to run the ball and getting Kelsey involved. I think that's their formula.
Yep.
Their defense is probably one of the best defenses they've had in like all their years of being this good in this run. This is probably one of the better defenses that they've had. So I think this is going to be a very interesting game because of the fact that can Baltimore play their style? If Kansas City is playing their style, Kansas City is going to win this game. Baltimore, they have the personnel for Kansas City. You're stout up front. You got big corners. You got big backers that can go left and right and come down the middle. You got safety and the kid from Notre Dame. I mean, it's just Baltimore is built and they're complete. They run it well. And the thing that is the scariest about the Ravens, and I can't stand this about them because they used to be the Browns. So this is like our rival. But the thing that is the hardest thing to deal with the Ravens this year is it's not about stopping Lamar, guys. That's not it. He's standing in the pocket. He's standing in the pocket and throwing the ball. So with that being said, it's about style. And I think that the Baltimore defense can play the style that needs to be played, and their scheme is really, really good. Now, Mahomes is really, really good too. That's why I predict in this game, y'all get ready to put your scores up. I got Baltimore winning this game 27-24. Close. Because Mahomes is a factor. I just don't think you're going to stop that. But I think this is Lamar's year to get it done. Will said he's already showing signs of being scared when he said he doesn't. Listen, I don't get into all that doesn't like competing against Mahomes, whatever. Lamar is a dog. He's been a dog. He's about to win his second MVP, and he's a different player than he's ever been. Now, in the past, if you get up on this team by 2 touchdowns, Lamar wasn't going to bring you back because he could throw you back into a game. That ain't them anymore. This is the year of the Harbaughs. He's got to go to the Super Bowl.
The year of the Harbaughs.
Yep. This is the year of the Ravens 27. Mahomes, the Mahomes Auto State Farm Express 24.
Uh,
Ooh.
30-17. Somebody said Roquan and Pacheco going head to head is going to rip a hole in the times continuum.
I love it. You got Roquan, you got Queen.
Yeah.
We got those guys. Listen,
they got backers that can hit and cover.
Bully ball. I think I was talking to my son the other day. He goes, "Dad, their defense has no white people on it."
Hilarious. Yeah.
And then,
I expect a lot of single high 0 from Baltimore because until Patrick can beat you over the top with these receivers, you put Hamilton on Kelsey. You get your best big cover safety on him, and let them linebackers play downhill on Pacheco. And you let Montez, Valdez, Scanlon, and Sky Moore and all these unproven receivers go over the top.
That's it.
And if he can make those throws, then you move out of whatever you in.
Yep.
But you play at the line of scrimmage.
I agree.
They already said their starting guard or center at Kansas City is not going to play. So you get after Mahomes and you make Mahomes uncomfortable, make him make mistakes. Out of any year, out of all years, this is the year to make Patrick Mahomes make mistakes. He does not trust his receivers. If Kadarius Toney is out there, leave him wide open. But you made Patrick throw the ball over your head and see what happens. Because if you're the Ravens, your offense is a well-oiled machine. And yes, their defensive unit is playing well in this stretch. But they only got one all-pro on that defense, and he's on the line. So if you can stretch those linebackers out with run pass option and trying to figure out if they guarding Lamar or if they're guarding the run, and then Lamar goes over your head with Likely and and Zay Flowers and Odell Beckham, and this team knows who they are and they haven't deviated in a while. So with that, I hate picking against Kansas City because they always like to prove you wrong. But this is the first AFC championship that they've been in, and they ain't at home. So beating Buffalo is one thing because they've been in Buffalo's head since the inception. But I think this is Baltimore's year to get to the Super Bowl. So I'll go Baltimore too. I'll go in a tight game. I'll go – let's go, man. Let's go 13-19. Low scoring game. 13-19 Baltimore. Yep. Low scoring game. Let's give it to Baltimore. Let Lamar go to the chip and exercise the demon that is Patrick Mahomes. So
here's the one thing that's scary for Baltimore. Baltimore has to worry about the secondary for Kansas City has been top notch this year. They got Snead back there, been very top notch. Somebody besides Likely to me has to show up in this game. Odell has been nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found.
Okay, so yes, Zay Flowers, we know what he can do. Somebody besides Likely has to show up in this game. That'll be interesting to see because Kansas City's D-line, they play really well with Chris
Jones
on that D-line. They play pretty well. If Baltimore can run the ball, you're good. But if this turns into the old Baltimore Ravens where Lamar has to do a lot with his feet, then if I'm Baltimore, I'd be concerned. He needs Likely and those guys to just get open, be in a spot, catch a couple balls, make a big play here or there, and I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I think maybe a guy like Snead, the outside corner, gets nullified in this because they don't throw too much to the wide receivers.
True.
So if your best players are scattered out, and this is an offense that likes to dominate the middle of the field, then you're kind of taking their best player out of the program. So if I get you with motion here, motion there, and then I got my tight end, crossing the middle of the field, then that's an easy dink and dunk. So yeah, this is definitely a game to watch, and I think everybody's waiting for the fall of Kansas City, and now's the time, if ever, to do it.
Yeah.
All right, NFC Championship game. We got the San Francisco 49ers hosting against the Detroit Lions. That is so weird to say, bro. That is so weird. The Detroit Lions are in the NFC Championship game, and they're playing the San Francisco 49ers. That's so weird. Oh, my bad. He put it up too. KC secondary will give Lamar issues with that speed. They had to make Lamar do everything. That's going to give KC more chances. Good perspective. Work down the field.
I guess I'm going first because it's your team, right?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I feel the hateration permeate.
At the beginning of the show,
I feel
the
hateration.
If the Lions lose, and it's still the Browns and the Lions having between us having still not made a Super Bowl. Yeah, something that I have to listen to Detroit fans like, but we made the Super Bowl though, and you haven't. So I have to listen to that. So let me just take that. Let me take the hater and the troll off, and let's talk football. Okay, let's talk football. So going back to what we were saying in the previous game, coming into this game, I think the number one thing is, does Debo play? If Debo plays and he plays 75, 80%, that offense is totally different than it is without him. They are still a deadly offense. They can still do things because Christian McCaffrey is still Christian McCaffrey. And people need to stop sleeping on Brock Purdy. And the Shanahan play caller is a factor in this game. And here's to the point of Lions. In this game, to me, this game comes down to what Lions back seven shows up in this game. Because I think offensively, the Lions, Gibbs will be able to run the ball on the edges. I think Gibbs will be substantial enough, but it's going to be tough. Can they run the ball enough for the play action to work? Because that front seven for the 49ers is arguably the best in football. Greenlaw,
Warner.
Yeah. Plus, you know who's on the front four. You know who's in the front four. So that front seven, legit. If you can't run the ball against them, it's going to be a tough day because the play action is Jared Goff. If Jared Goff drops back, we were watching the game together, and you kept saying, I need them to run the ball more. Because if Jared Goff drops back and throws it between 40 to 50 times in this game, you're not feeling good as a Lions fan. If you're a football guy, you can't feel good about that. The other piece for me is offensively, Laporta, I like it. Amon-Ra, I like it. I feel like Amon-Ra can get hits against anybody, so I think he's legit 100%. Laporta is coming into his own. I love it. Defensively, the concern I have is your play caller. Because he is who he is, bro. I don't think the Lions all of a sudden come out in this game and decide to play zone. I don't think they just all of a sudden come out in this game and decide to be something different than they've been all season, which is a man zero blitz team, corner. It got so bad in this last game against the Bucs that it was like, how many more times are you going to call a corner blitz? I think that from a play calling perspective, that's why you saw what happened in some of those moments, because they knew what he was going to do. And so, to me, it's play caller Shanahan against your defense and against your DC Glenn. and you got a corner who can't cover. So if Debo's in this game and Sutton's got to cover Debo, scary. But from a football standpoint, the one thing that the Lions haven't seen is, dang, Will's on it tonight. The combination of having a Laporta type guy in Kittle, plus Ayuk on the outside, plus if you add Debo and a CMC. Maybe these are mirror images of one another at the end of the day from an offensive standpoint, and stop sleeping on Brock Purdy. So, with that being said, if the Lions don't adjust and play some zone and count on your front four and figure it out in another way, to me, that's scary. So, from a hateration standpoint, I'm picking the 49ers. From a football standpoint, I don't trust Aaron Glenn. I feel like your offense will show up and score you 20 points. I just feel like San Francisco is going to have enough to eke this game out and beat you 27-20. So that's my prediction. 49ers 27, Lions 20. I think Gibbs is going to be Gibbs at certain moments. I think you're going to get flashes. You're going to have points. You're going to be in the game. But I think San Francisco ekes it out, and that's with or without Debo. I think they've got enough. If Glenn goes blitz happy, can't do it. Not against this team. So all you Lions fans can get mad. Even Sports Dad Stevens is here. Hey, see, there you go. I'm not rocking with the Lions. Like I said, I made myself clear and known. As a hater, I'm hating. But as a football guy, when you look at the X's and O's, I think the tendencies are positively in 49ers' favor and negatively in the Lions' favor.
Yeah. All great points.
Don't
but
you
you forgot to add the grit. Say no. You are correct in all those aspects. Shanahan definitely has the coaching edge. Him going head to head, him and Ben Johnson going head to head offensively, but him playing chess with Glenn, I would definitely pick Kyle Shanahan going if that was a game of chess. Do they have the weapons and the pieces? Yes. If they don't have Debo, you still got Brandon Ayuk as a go ball. You still got CMC. You still got George Kittle. You still got the best tackle in football. You still got the best front seven in football. This team is loaded with all pros and very well coached. This season, if you watch San Francisco, they put people away. They lean on them with the running game, and they stop them very well on defense. Yeah. The only games they really gave up was due to injury to either Christian McCaffrey or Deebo Samuel towards the middle of the year, or Brock Purdy didn't really show up in the game. So those are the combination of their losses for the 49ers in the regular season. But if we go skill player for skill player, the Lions match up as well. Laporta's here. Mm-hmm. Him and George Kittle, I would say, statistic-wise, can go blow for blow. I believe Amon-Ra and Ayuk can go blow for blow. And I believe our entire offensive line can outweigh one great offensive tackle. I believe Jared Goff has a resurgence and an understanding of this offense that he can go throw for throw with Brock Purdy as well. So if you look at our offense and you look at their offense, I feel like those are very equal. And I feel like Ben Johnson as a play caller can match the scheme of Mike of Cal. So you got scheme and scheme, you got talent and talent, you got offense versus offense. And I believe this would be a good matchup moving forward. The sketchy part, like I said, and like you said, is the defense. And we all know it. Every Lions fans know it. Our back seven, our corners, our safeties are always going to be the part where we go, dang. I feel like having Gardner Johnson back as we saw going against a lesser opponent in Baker Mayfield, definitely helps that defense. Kirby Joseph knowing what he's doing in the defense helps that defense. But it's our corners. I will give it to you. It is our corners that will give us fits. So, do you trust Brock Purdy to put it out there to torch those corners? That's what we're banking on. They do have home field advantage, but I gotta roll with Detroit. I believe they can lean on their offensive line to move the ball and get Jared Goff in some nice play action scenarios where Amon-Ra can do his thing. Now, I got to look up the report to make sure our 2 and 3 receiver is also there. But I'm a roll with Detroit just off of I think this is more of an even matchup than people say.
You have to roll with Detroit,
especially on the offensive side.
You couldn't pick against the Lions even if you wanted.
Hey, it's going to be some misdirections. Got to be some play action. Because if you let Fred Warner and Greenlaw just sit in the middle of the field, it's not going to be good for nobody. You let Bosa and Chase tee off on you, it's not going to be good for nobody. We already lost our guard, so the middle of our offensive line is sketch. But there's no way that I will pick against the Detroit Lions in this game. The Detroit Lions are going to the Super Bowl, and so am I. I'll see you in Vegas. The Detroit Lions win this football game 28-27. I don't know. Something ridiculous. Something I ain't gonna give it a score. High scoring, great football game. Detroit wins, and I'll see you in Vegas.
Yep. All right. Ralph said, I shouldn't hate because you deserve this more than any team in the league. No, we deserve this, okay? The Browns and the Lions are on the same plane right now. We deserve it just like you deserve it. So you're in position to get it. So, therefore, I'm going to hate.
Pops too? Pops, you hating too? That's whack, bro. Williams been hating. That's messed up.
The Lions are in the wild hunting for prey, baby. What y'all on? Yeah, no, Dre has to pick them. That's what it boils down to. But you did give the breakdown. We're saying the same thing. This comes down to what your back seven can do. Because I agree with you from the offensive side of the ball. You got enough offensively to win the game with your offense. But it can't be just your offense. Your offense, their defense is too good for the offense to go in there and just do it alone. You need plays made by your back seven. So that's going to be fun to see. Again, the Debo play. And then what's the wrinkle, right? What do the Lions come out and do differently? What's the wrinkle on offense? What's the wrinkle on defense? Do they get Purdy off the square? Will said a couple of stops and some grind out drives. Maybe that's how you do it. Okay, that's a good formula. Can you grind out a few 8-minute drives against this defense? I don't know. It's tough. These are the last 4 teams, but these are going to be 2 of the best to me conference championship games we've had in a long time. 2 very evenly matched teams. Yeah, people are not giving you guys credit. I will say that. I think people are definitely riding the San Francisco.
As they should. As they should.
But I definitely think that people need to recognize that this is a really good Lions football team. If you look at what they do, how they do it, they got the guys in the right spot. I mean, even though Amon-Ra from the slot is your best guy, I mean the deep ball to J-Mo's there. I mean, he's just a speed guy that can really take the top off. So that once or twice a game, you got to take that shot. So you're going to see that. It's going to be interesting just to see how it plays out. Your OC versus Shanahan, that was interesting. You been against Shanahan on the same level? Okay.
I mean, look at our offense. We've had in the playoff games that we've had multiple touchdown drives in a row. where we've gone touchdown, touchdown, touchdown in multiple games, probably in every game in this playoffs. So, can he call it? Yeah, he can call it. As long as they execute it, he can call it, dial it up. But like I said, you got to get those linebackers moving, because if you got those guys just sitting in the middle of the field, that doesn't open up anything for Sam, and that doesn't open anything for Amon-Ra. And like you, and a thing that I didn't think of, you do got to take the shot with J-Mo. Let him in his element. So if they do play disrespectful and they get 8 in the box or they play single high, that shot's going to be there, and you got to take it when you can. Well, so Detroit and Baltimore, the hoodest Super Bowl of all time.
All right, there you have it. Yeah, Detroit, Baltimore.
Pops, I'm so mad at you, bro. Come on, man. I'm mad at you, Pops. You supposed to just come over to this side for now, bro. Come on. Y'all Clevelanders, y'all out of it. Okay? Just root for us. Root for us. I'm going to be in Vegas. I want y'all to know that. I will broadcast live on this station. I'm going to be outside the stadium because I ain't got it like that. But I would definitely go to Vegas if we get there. If Detroit run the ball like Aaron Jones run on San Francisco, yeah. The Green Bay showed that you don't shy away from running the ball just because you've seen what San Francisco is capable of. Right. You still got to work your game plan.
Have to try.
You got to try to run the ball. You got to try to run the ball. See what Montgomery do, see what Gibbs do, and then after that, run the hot hand. You root for me, but I need you to put a Lions emoji in there and pick the Lions. That's what I need, Pops. That's what I need from you.
I'm not on the Birdie overrated bandwagon, James, and we agree on a lot of things football. I'm off that Purdy overrated bandwagon, bro. I mean, I listen. He's in a great system. I'll give you that. But come on, I'll tell you at the end of the day, he's in a great system, but he has to execute, and he executes. So you got to give the guy some credit. It's not just Shanahan. Yeah. It's Purdy too. Now, yes, if you take Purdy out of the system and put him somewhere else, might he be Mr. Irrelevant again? Yeah, maybe so. But that's not happening right now. He's in that system, and he's done it. And he's been here before, too. That experience might play well for them this year because, remember, they were here last year against Philadelphia. So, Purdy went out with the elbow issue and couldn't throw the ball, and that was it. But we'll see.
Come on, Detroit. Oh, man. The Detroit Lions are one win away from the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir. I will support you, sir. If they get to the Super Bowl and win it, I'll go to the parade and all that with you like you did when the Cavaliers won back in 2016. I'll support you. I do. I'm standing up saying it now. I will support. Okay?
I'm about to buy some buffs. Here we go. All right, let's do our speed round. Let's finish it off right. Let's play our favorite game. Joel, do you care? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Joel, do you care?
Speed round, like it.
That Pascal Siakam got traded to the Indiana Pacers.
You're trolling. This is because I always pick Pascal in our top 25.
This is your guy. This is your guy. This is your guy.
Hey, man, this is a one, bro. This is a one. This is not a thing. This is a one, but not. I see what you did there. That was good. This is a one. This is
your guy. Oh, man, you gonna do Pascal like that?
Yeah, this is a one.
Joe, do you care that they are not gonna fire Mike McCarthy?
Hey, thank you, Dallas. This is a 10 for me. More laughter, more enjoyment of this fan base suffering and suffering and suffering. Yes, I care. Thank you very much. Get to enjoy another season of Mr. Jerry Jones running a poorly run organization. If he doesn't ever sit down and shut up, They will never do anything. So I care. This is a 10. Thank you very much, Dallas Cowboys. You are the gift that keeps on giving.
Joe, do you care that the leader of men snaked another black man for his job and became the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks?
Man, that's a great word. Was helping my man's out. Was I consulting with him?
He was looking around like, I like it here.
Yeah. Hey, man.
It's a nice office you got here.
So I would normally give this type of stuff because we're acknowledging what really happened. It seems like what really happened in 10, but because it's Doc Rivers, he gets a James Harden 0.
Oh.
It's a James Harden 0. A James Harden, Jason Tatum 0. All right.
Ooh.
The leader of men.
The leader of men.
We are not a fan of Doc Rivers on this show.
Not at all. Yeah, William. So as it goes, Adrian Griffin was having trouble connecting with his locker room. So the Milwaukee Bucks reached out to Doc Rivers as a consultant to advise their first-year head coach on how to gain the trust of his players and his locker room moving forward. Even though he had a 30-13 record, he had lost the gumption of Giannis and the other veterans in the team. And while Doc was trying to help him, he said, "You know what you really need around here is a leader of men."
There you go. There you go.
I can go ahead and take this job if you want to. So instead of helping this young brother be a first-year head coach, he went ahead and stabbed him in the back and accepted the job. So I'm very glad that we don't have to hear his ashy voice on NBA commentary anymore.
Yeah, that's horrible. And then the fact that, I mean, what about the assistants, bro? Like they did them dirty, bro.
Dirty. Absolutely dirty. Absolutely dirty, bro. You get hired as a consultant, and then 2 weeks later, you got the job. That don't look too good.
That's right, James.
My man was 30-13.
30-13.
Man, you ain't seen something that bad since LeBron got rid of old boy from Italy.
2016 when we picked up. Yep. When Tyronn Lue came aboard. Yep. Yep.
Dirty. All right. So, Doc Rivers, welcome to the 0 club.
Yeah, you get James Harden, Jason Tatum 0.
Joe, do you care that Joel Embiid had a 70-point game?
You know what? I'm going to give this a 4. All right. He might be well on his way to winning the back-to-back MVP. I mean, and he did it against Wembanyama, which I'm happy to hear about. Okay? Because Wembanyama is quickly joining my list of zeros.
Somebody in the 1 club.
Yeah, and he's in the 1 club. But so I'm gonna give this a 4 on the scale of do I care. It's noisy, gets a little ping on the radar, but he might be on his way to winning back-to-back MVPs, and they'll still lose in the conference championship.
I was gonna do the Cat 62 points, but I knew that was gonna be a 0.
And not only 62, but he only scored 4 in the fourth quarter, and they lost.
And then his coach ripped him.
And they ripped him a new one. Yeah.
After the game.
Guys care more about scoring points than they do winning games.
Oh, they was killing him on Twitter. They was doing like the voiceover of him playing. It was like, "Give me the ball." Yeah, please. I'm Cat. The Cat's hot. Give me the ball.
Oh, God.
Absolutely killing.
Yeah, well, you're 100% right. We were talking about this. When I saw the score of the I was talking to JD about this. We saw the score of the Pistons-Bucks game, the one that you went to with the boys. Mm-hmm. It's like I can't stand watching the NBA because of the defense, the lack thereof. Like it's not fun for me to see somebody win 151 to 143. It's just the new NBA is just bleh.
Yeah,
But
it's like
we're gonna
fast break the whole game. You let them lay up, now you can go out. You can go run.
pick and roll, shoot, run back the other way, travel. Can't touch anybody, travel some more.
Corner three.
It's tough to watch, man. We're gonna have to start watching it because football will be over whenever they talk.
All right. I think lastly, Joel, do you care? This thing ain't working. It's like, dang.
10.
There you go. Do you care that Kevin Durant wants to be named one of the greatest players of all time? He deserves to be in the GOAT conversation. Per him.
I thought the alter ego stuff was over with. I thought we were done with this stuff. Bro, I saw a clip today where Stephen A was talking about this, and I was like, why is this even a conversation? This gets a 0 for me. Like, what are we doing here? Really?
He wants to be in the conversation.
Stop. All right,
he wants to be in the GOAT conversation.
I'm looking for. Are you looking forward to the games this weekend? This is horrible. He gets a 0 and a bell. I'm not, bro.
This is from him. Nobody started this conversation. He did.
0. He gets a Jason Tatum, Harden 0. Stop. Which Twitter account did he use to say this?
Damn.
Meanwhile, Mariah Mims just tweeted again.
Oh, God. All right, so we appreciate everybody joining us in the show. Listen, y'all, make sure you follow us on YouTube, man. And most importantly, if you have not done it already, make sure you trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. So whether it be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, whatever, you get a notification every time we go live. That way we can get you all in, and that way you can get your comments up and be the family that we are, man. Sports community, we appreciate y'all as always. Make sure you like, comment, and share everything Academy Sports Show, especially that share part. Make sure you text our link into your friends or group chat so we can get more people in here on a daily basis. But other than that, we appreciate everybody's commentary and everybody's support throughout the show, throughout the years. So on behalf of myself, Andre Douglas, Joel Williams.
Enjoy football this week. Make sure y'all trigger that bell. I'm out of town next week, but I will be with my computer. So we will do a show next week. I'll do my hotel room. We'll do a show for sure. So we're not going to be this week. So make sure y'all watch this stuff this week. And we'll talk next week. Y'all have a good night.
Down the field again, a Lions victory. Go.